Hello, everyone. This is Marcia, and today I will be walking you through a summary of the threat to of walking you through cash vouchers and nutrition, what's valid and what's at risk. This is a study. This is a study. The study looked at how different cash-based intervention impacted children and maternal nutrition in a crisis setting in Pakistan. We'll go over the program, the findings, and take a deeper look at what may have affected the study's validity. The study took place in 114 villages in Pakistan where malnutrition was common. The researchers were the researchers wanted to know if giving families either regular cash, double the cash, or fresh food vouchers would reduce malnutrition among kids under 5. Over 2,400 households got support for 6 months. Their outcomes were checked against 6 months and 1 year. This kind of trial, called a cluster randomized control trial, is often used in humanitarian setting to test different ways of helping communities. The cash group did best at reducing wasting after 6 months. Both the voucher and the double cash groups showed better weight for height scores, which means they helped improve children's short-term nutrition. All three interventions helped reduce stunting, which is important for long-term health and development. But not everything was positive. The fresh food vouchers were linked to a drop in hemoglobin levels, likely because of limited food variety. One challenge One challenge was that participants' data collectors knew which groups they were in. This lack of blinding could lead to bias. Maybe caregivers changed their behavior, or data collectors expected certain results. Even though the trial was well designed, this awareness could have influenced the way information was collected or reported, reducing objectivity. The randomization at the village level was real strength. It helped fairly assign families to different groups, but since the study took place in an emergency setting, it was hard to follow up with everyone. Some people moved, dropped out, or couldn't be reached. These dropouts, known as attrition, can affect the consistency and reliability of the study results. The statistical method used were appropriate for the research design, which adds strength to the results. However, the study didn't test for a threshold effect. In other words, whether there's a certain amount of money that's needed to see real results. Also, they didn't gather enough information about what food families actually bought and ate, which weakens the connections between the cash or the vouchers and the nutrition outcome. They expected the food voucher groups to do well, but the drop in hemoglobin levels showed that something may have been missing nutritionally. This tells us this tells us the outcomes they choose to measure might not have captured everything they should have. This is a threat to construct validity. And because the study was done in a specific humanitarian crisis setting, the results may not apply to other places where food option prices and systems are very different. Even with these limitations, the study still provides helpful guidance. Double cash seemed to work best overall and caused fewer problems than vouchers. These results can help guide future programs in emergencies, but more research is needed, especially on making such families have access to full variety of healthy foods. This evaluation reminds us how important it is to think about study design and data quality when we want to make real world decisions. Before we wrap up, here's a summary. Here's a quick summary. The study showed that giving double the cash helped families improve their children's nutrition more than the other options. While all the interventions had some positive effect, there are a few issues, like the way food vouchers were limited and how some parts of the study designs made it harder to measure long-term impact. Still, this research gives us helpful insights into what works and what we need to improve when supporting nutrition during emergencies. If you have any questions about my presentation or want to learn more about the evaluation process, please feel free to email me. I'd love to connect and continue the conversation. Thank you for your time. Let me know if you'd like me to. Thank you very much for your time. Here are my references that I use for my presentation. I hope everyone have an amazing week.